Hey guys, so this is going to be my first YouTube video. Um, I wasn't intending on starting out um, with this kind of content, but I've prayed on it and I think that this is going to lead me in the right direction with my channel. I was going to start out just on the page here where we'll be talking, but I figured I'd sit here for a moment because I looked and read this verse. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? And this is just very fitting for the topic we will be speaking on today. This is something that I come across that I've been warned a lot about, and I believe it is very important for any professing Christian to understand. Like I said, it's not the topic or the kind of content I wanted to start out with. And many of you who know me, you know how I feel about the truth movement. You know how I feel about just this world's knowledge. I do not believe we should rely upon it. I believe we should rely on God alone. But if, if you believe that God has given you any specific gift or has revealed anything in particular to you that you should be discerning about, then it's very important to take it to Him and just ask Him for leadership in it and for guidance and understanding. And ask Him if it's something that you need to speak up about. These are just important questions we need to take to the Lord. And something that He has taught me from my past, I spent many years in the New Age, is it really comes down to discerning of spirits. And when I start to see certain things in the media or on social media, I start to get a bit concerned when I begin to discern these other spirits that I am familiar with from my past. So before I start, I just want to apologize if there's any audio issues. I'm just going to try to wing through this without any editing. I just kind of want to go through this and show you guys what's being revealed here and what it means and what we are to do about it. For any born-again Christian, this type of thing coming to light should only strengthen your faith because excuse me, it proves the Bible true, and this should help us know that we need to really draw near to God. This is a time of extreme spiritual warfare, and it seems just like we did in 2020 that we are going to see things start to amp up politically, and I believe there's a very, very wicked spirit behind it all. So last night I stumbled across a video. It was a TikTok that somebody had shared on Facebook, and it was a video of this man here. His name is Robbie Wells. He was a was a former 2020 Democratic candidate for president of the United States. And as I look him up, it seems his video is still going around. I'm not quite sure if this man is actually, we can see right quick, going to run for 2024. Let's see. Robbie Wells. U.S. presidential candidate Robbie Wells announcing his candidacy for the 2024 election. So yes, this man is currently still running. We can see here that he is an ambassador to the International Human Rights Peace Commission. So he's going on in this video I saw last night. By the way, you guys, I'm not going to add any clips. Not only do I don't want to worry about copyright stuff on my first video, but also the video that I will be covering today. It's just kind of it gives me a really bad feeling anytime I start to encounter these kind of spirits. I get a really bad feeling when I watch their videos. So it's not something I recommend to go watch unless you are discerning and rooted in faith, and you're not, nothing's gonna, cause you to fear or stumble. But so as he was going on in this interview, he starts talking about things that are just red flags to me that are definitely very, I want to be careful what I say, very commie in nature. And he's talking about free healthcare, free education, everybody having a $10,000 a month income. And immediately I was reminded of like all the Q stuff that was going on in 2020 and the theories that all those people were talking about. And they would all act like this is a really good thing. Oh, wow, yay, this light side is coming to save the day. So I do think that there is some very distinct parts of these Q-top theories that we need to pay attention to. I do not believe, as they believe, that it is a good thing. I believe that what we are seeing is a vast deception taking place, and there are so many different angles of this particular deception. So it's just something we need to really watch out for. Now, something God first taught me as I come into the faith out of the New Age was that we always need to just keep our eye out when it comes to any sort of influencer, anybody that their name is coming up, in the media. We need to pay attention to symbols. And in this guy's speech, you can see before him, this symbol was there. And the TikTok name that put it out was called Creative Society. And this immediately stood out to me because I noticed the symbols, the occult symbols. So I decided to go check them out to see what they're all about. And I'm just going to kind of like go through their Facebook sites. Real quick, we'll go here. This Robbie Wells guy, he is the ambassador for this company. And it seems like anytime you see something that is just global or international and they are all about unity, we know they're likely affiliated with UN. This is a red flag because not only are they going to try to unite race or nation, but also religion. And we know that uniting with false religions and false gods is a big no-no. So anyone with just basic Christian biblical knowledge should be looking out for this and able to discern this. It seems like these people are doing a lot of things for the world that the majority are going to look at and be like, oh, yay, that's good. You're helping in conflict zones and disasters and children. But when I look at government agencies who say they only want the best for you and they are interfering with our children with an education, I'm only concerned. When I see things like this, we always condemn violence and extremism. Okay, what is extremism? So these are just some questions I have when I start to see affiliations like this. So to the Creative Society, I'm first going to just take you to their Facebook page to show you the kind of content that they push. First off, over 40,000 people following, including 8 of my friends. So this is definitely concerning. Some of their content we see here immediately. that this is Islam, and they are promoting Islam. We also see climate topics. It's a lot of climate related, earthquake, war, more earthquakes. And there's Robbie and his 2024 presidential campaign. Now, when I first come across this, it reminded me of like Event 201. I'm not sure if you remember this, the Event 201. But kind of like Elon Musk says, it looks so fake it has to be real. It's kind of like that. And when we come across the Event 201, it was so strange because it seemed like it just wasn't real. It was actors. And it's like they were just playing a skit. And at first, when I come across this, it's almost what it seemed like. It looked like it was just a skit. And I was very like, are these people actors? Are they? I almost thought it was AI because in the videos, it's automatically translated into whatever language you speak here, 150 languages of simultaneous interpreting. So it just looks kind of fake in the videos. So I was just really questioning it. But I started to look up everything they were promoting, everything they were saying, and everything I was looking up was verified. It was real events that they were promoting. So I'll go to, let's go to their site. And I just want to kind of show you guys through their site why this is a problem. Not without just pointing at the symbolism and being like, hey, look, Illuminati. That's not my intent here. My intent is to show you why the spirit behind this is nefarious, that it completely goes against God's order, that it is worshiping of false gods, it is unifying of religions, and it is completely intended to destroy, not only destroy, what God has intended for his creation to be, but also it seems to me that their objective or what they think they can do is turn God's judgment away. So one of the first things you're going to notice here is that they're very, very focused on climate, on global crisis, and global is always a red flag word to me. You can see that they are claiming to have reports that are declassified, and they're just claiming all sorts of wild things about catastrophe. And why I find that interesting is it's really funny. Yesterday, I had sent someone close to me a meme of Greta. It was the one where they like edited the Ohio train derailment explosion. They like edited in where she's sitting there eating breakfast, looking out the window. And the person I sent it to laughed and said that he had wondered why the climate change people have been silent. And just a few hours later is when I happened to stumble across this and realize this is why they've been silent and this is what they're up to. So, as I pointed out on that Facebook here, where they are obviously promoting Islam, there's a lot of indicators of this, and I will show you some of those here soon. But it seems that they are thinking that, yes, God's judgment is coming, and they are thinking that humanity can avoid it if we, in 5 years, adopt their plan. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is very reflective of Alice Bailey's 10-point plan and the externalization of the hierarchy that she wrote. If you're unfamiliar with that, let me know, and maybe I can make a video on that. But her writings have been adopted by the UN and by the Theosophical Society, Freemasonry, and they are definitely being implemented. I also believe that the society we are seeing explained through this association is, and it's not an organization, I'll tell you why later. And we can also see that this association aligns with precisely the Georgia Guidestones. And I am someone that spent 15 years in the Truth Movement. The Georgia Guidestones is precisely where I started, and I've seen now that many who were on that path that I was, they're just very mistaken, and they believe that what the Georgia Guidestones was explaining was this evil dictatorship, this dark government that will just do evil satanic things. And while they're right, they're missing out on the most crucial part, which is that Satan most often performs at, or is that Satan most often presents himself as an angel of light and good, a savior. So as we can see, I will go on, I'm going to go through their website a little bit and just show you what they're claiming. And we can see here that I refuse to call him what they have labeled him, but the Pope has given them his blessing. So has Karakan II, the Supreme Patriarch of all Armenians, and also from Amir Aziz, Imam of the oldest mosque in Germany. So I'm guessing that is Islam. So these should be some major red flags. This society is based on 8 pillars: human life, human freedom, human safety, transparency and openness of information for all, the creative ideology, development of personality, justice and equality, and a self-governing society. Hey, that doesn't sound bad, does it? Most people in the world are going to look at that and be like, wow, yeah. Especially when they realize that it includes technology and, all sorts of healing technology and free housing, and everybody gets free money, and we're just going to live in our all perfect little utopia. And I apologize, you guys, if you hear my dogs whining. They're at the door wanting in, but if I let them in, this video would just not work out. So I'll hurry my way through it. I just kind of wanted to scroll through here and just show you the kind of things that they are promoting. I also want to show you their logo so we can be more clear how open they are about what they are and who they are and what they're doing. So they're very, very open about the elements of their logo. The 8, in many cultures of the world, the number 8 is a symbol of perfection, order, and completeness. It is the beginning of a new period, a new cycle, renewal, and rebirth. So clearly they are very openly admitting that they're using occult symbology. Right here, they try to explain it away with some new agey sounding thing, but clearly what I see here is the Ouroboros. It's a very old pagan symbol, and we know that the pyramid is 2, representing the number 3. So there's a lot of it's a cult in its roots. So this is definitely a red flag. Alright, and I wanted to point out here, this is real. I made sure to look it up. This is a who the Prophet Muhammad is for us. And this is a very, just to know that this is what's behind this creative society. I'm not going to read through this. I just want to let you guys know that these things are legit. Okay, so when you're on the main site here, and you guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on these sites. We'll give you guys the link if you guys want to check it all out in detail, which I do recommend. It's very, very wise to just know what the enemy is doing in this time. They are very open, saying we are living in the end times. And they even talk about the day of judgment. So they are bringing religion into this. I have here what the prophets dreamed of. So I'll show you here in a minute when we go to the YouTube video how it's twisting the Bible to align with the Quran. And it is showing how the prophets dreamed for us to create this utopia. I am very concerned about many brothers and sisters when it comes to eschatology and what they are waiting for. During the last 6,000 years, humanity has persisted in a consumerist format, and so the truth has been distorted for the benefit of less than 1% and hidden from 99% of people. Distorting the truth given by the prophets, those who sought power established religious organizations to enslave people and control their lives. As a result, people have forgotten over time the words of the prophets that there can be no intermediaries between God and man, that God should not be feared, but should be loved. What is going on here, you guys? These are still things that I'm just chewing on, because it's quite disturbing the way they're dragging God into this. During the conference, examples were presented of how different religions have interpreted the one truth for the benefit of few individuals. Representatives of different religions, scientists, and researchers revealed the denouncing truth about Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. They reminded all people that God is above all religions, and we, humanity, need to stop listening to those who call themselves intermediaries between God and man. It is time to recall the covenants of our prophets. So this is serious, you guys. So I'll leave that there. Okay, so when you click the YouTube link on their website, it brings you to a video that is over 11 hours long. 11 hours, you guys. When this video first starts, it is very, very, it is clearly propaganda to me. I can see how easily someone who has been swayed by this world, this dying world, would follow this so quickly. I'm going to walk through want to read through this and then walk through the timestamps with you guys, so you guys just have a good idea of what's going on in this video. I have not watched it all. I will not watch it all. I will not watch through a bunch of propaganda, but I did go through a lot of the timestamps to, the ones that popped out to me to see what was going on. So what can make people of different nationalities, religions, professions, and social status from all over the world unite voluntarily on a single platform? What can make representatives of 180 countries work as volunteers every day to prepare a complex event? Global crisis, wars, epidemics, threats of starvation, and mass extinction. Does such a reason look important enough? And this is just the tip of the deadly iceberg that is looming. The last war of humanity is a war against climate that is killing both the poor and the rich everywhere in the world. It is already underway, taking the lives of millions of people, destroying everything in its path. We are being artificially divided and forced to fight each other. The life of a fragmented humanity is under imminent threat of annihilation. The forum participants are aware of this. The forum experts will confirm it with scientific facts, and eyewitnesses will share their own experience. So we can easily see how most people in the world are going to look at this and be like, yeah, that is true. These people are claiming to have the truth that has been withheld from us about climate issues. They're claiming to have, evidence and statistics. And it seems that so far, everything they've presented that I've watched, I have been able to go back up. It almost seems like this is just something the media, has purposely kept silent on, and it's so they can come forward like this as the savior with this perfect system that will be the solution to everything. So I just wanted to point out a few things in the timestamps. First off, we notice things like this. This is a clear indicator of spiritual warfare when we see timeless spoken word. Okay, I hope that people can see that there. And all this is somebody speaking poetry. And we can see how the first probably 4 to 5 hours are all about climate and all this that's going on with the climate that apparently has been hidden from us. That data has been falsified. And then, of course, they give us the way out. It's the solution. Now, in my opinion, as someone that has been part of, what was once the truth movement for most of my life, I would tell you that what we're seeing here is the solution to a created problem. Whether it really is, if these climate issues are real and are actually an act of God and judgment coming upon earth, I would not doubt, because this world is in a very wicked state, and I hope that evil is dealt with. But it very well could be that really that this climate disaster we're seeing is man-made. We should know about things like HAARP and the reality of weather modification. So it seems that what the climate change agenda is doing is simply whether they fabricated the problem or whether it's a real problem, they are just using that problem to get a reaction and to present the solution. So they're going to give us the way out. Like I said, there is just a lot here. A lot. And it is pure propaganda. It is emotional. It is deceptive. It is manipulative. And it's creepy. It's plain creepy. If you guys go through here and just watch some of these, they look like brainwashed robots. Like, they are just, it's really disturbing the way it's filmed. So I want to point out a couple of the pieces that disturb me the most, and that is here at 5 hours and 54 minutes. That is where I have the video stopped here. You can see a cross and Islam. So this is heavily pushing for unification. In this part of the film, it just heavily twists the Bible. It made me sick to my stomach. And then they held the Quran and Muhammad all the way through. And you can see where they're bringing Muhammad into it. Excerpt from The Awakening. Now, this part is very disturbing too. These 3 parts specifically. I highly recommend that you guys go and watch through this to understand what these people are doing. This guy here literally tells us that we shouldn't trust God anymore or rely on God anymore, that we should only trust ourselves because God gave us free choice. And he says, quote unquote, look what we did with it. We crucified Christ and killed Muhammad, or killed the prophets. And, he uses this as a way to just basically manipulate people into rebelling against God. It's one of the most bone-chilling things I've ever listened to. And it just, we need to be aware of this, you guys. Okay, and the next part here, there's 8 pillars of the creative society. I read them off earlier. They sound really, really good in the broad sense, but for someone who is a Bible-believing Christian, who is rooted in faith, who will not bow to Baal, who will not bow to this satanic Luciferian system, they are beyond good. We will look at these pillars and we will see exactly what is being done. And so, I'm not going to go over those in detail or give too much of an opinion there, but I do want to encourage you guys to look at these and look at how good it looks and just examine yourselves, guys. There are so many, professing Christians that just have there's a lot of us that are not going to bow, and there are a lot who still have their foot in the world, and they are still attached to things of this world. They're not looking at Jesus. They're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at eternity. They're looking at this life and what God will do for them in this life. And if they are stuck in that mindset that, you're going to prosper and we can overcome evil in this life, then you're at risk, and you should probably fear God's judgment, because there's no going back from this kind of society. And I want to tell you what he says here, and I posted this clip to Facebook. It's very brief. And after he goes through these 8 pillars, he says, if a person accepts only one of these pillars, then you are already a part of this society, is what he says. But then he says, but if a man denies all 8 pillars of this society, he says that you are harmful to society, you are dangerous, and that you must be dealt with. This is a threat to every single Christian who will not bow. This is a threat to every atheist that will not bow, to those who know what communism is and will not bow. This is a threat. And I hope you all can see what I see here. The last part I want to touch on that just completely broke my heart. I haven't looked through much more of it because it's just really heavy stuff. But it shattered me last night. I fell asleep crying in prayer, asking God what to do about this, because this is something in my own walk that God has just completely flipped my world upside down about, and that is finding joy and purpose in the life He has given us. And the order God has given us as a family is there for a very important reason. We can look at today's world now and all these boss babes and these single independent females who don't need a man, when we can see just how it's corrupting society, it's corrupting children, it's corrupting the best of women who have the right intentions, that they think that they have the truth, but it's, we're the whole world has been deceived. And God has shown me how wrong I was about what I once believed about women, and how rebellious I was, and He has just completely flipped my world around through the Word, and has given me a great joy and desire to serve the purpose that He has given me, and that is as a wife and a mother. And the film here we see about 9 hours in is called Housewife, and I'm sure you can guess the view of housewife that they're giving in this. And let's go to it. And I'm not going to play too much, but you can clearly see, what's going on in this woman's life. It's very dark. She's just having what seems to be a miserable life. And then we can clearly see what happened.
See it with your own eyes. For this.
And of course, I'm not technologically savvy, but anyways, we can totally see what was happening there. Where did it go? I'm gonna try to find. Okay, yeah. Here she is. She is complaining because she's missing her hair appointment and she can't ever find the time to do anything. All she ever does is clean. And then we can see how things change, and she accepts this new society, and her life is just perfect and bright. And her closet, there's like this technology where her closet helps her try on outfits. So we have some sort of artificial intelligence technology going on here. And we can just see how they believe that this will be a better life where you don't have to work, you don't have to clean. The house has technology that cleans itself, it cooks all the food. There's this 3D technology entertaining the kids. So they're just totally pulling people in with this idea of technology that they say has been hidden from us and that we can have access to in this new world. I just wanted to bring this to the attention of believers that, yes, the Q theories you hear as if they are glorifying this system and glorifying these people as saviors and they're good and God must be sending them. That is a deception. What's not a deception about it is the content. This is a real man who is really running for president. This symbol is real. This association is real, and that's something I wanted to mention. The guy says that they are not an organization, they are an association, and that just means it's a group of people who believe the same things, and they are intent on spreading these ideas. You can see again that their Facebook page has 40,000 followers. This YouTube video, it came out November 12th of last year, so just a few months ago. And we can see that, let's see. I don't see how many views it's had, but I think it was like 31,000 or something like that. Um, and we can just see how, uh, you guys, I believe it will take one catastrophe, one large climate induced catastrophe that will allow something like this to go completely viral. It will just take over. Everyone we know would adopt this. There is a point where the God says this is what all people want. That everyone wants this type of freedom. And, in our natural sense, we can understand that because, yes, that is what everyone wants, is true freedom, true peace, true love. But this world has been given a counterfeit and warped version of freedom, of peace, of love. And it's Jesus that has a peace that the world cannot give. And it's through him that we gain an eternity. Now, here's the problem with a system like this, you guys. They can bring in this system, but how can a world flourish in peace when there is still sin, when there is still pride, when there is still murder in the hearts of man? It's not possible. Okay? But God in his word, he has promised us an eternity with him where there is no sin, there is no corruption of man, there is no wickedness, there is no suffering. Okay? We won't need technology to heal us where we're going, or when he brings heaven to earth. I just want to encourage you guys to really, really press into him, to believe every word he says with all your heart. Because if we're not believing everything he says, and we are letting the world influence our understanding or our worldview in any way, we are definitely at risk. We need to fear God's judgments. We need to turn to him and repent. We need to believe in every promise that God has written to us, every word, every verse, and just seek him with our whole hearts, because he is the only way out. There is no escaping God's wrath. These people are going to be climbing in mountains and in holes. It reminds me of the movie, the Nicolas Cage movie. Is it called The Knowing? Where the kid figures out with numbers that the sun is about to destroy all of humanity. This is going to be humanity in that last moment. They might be declaring peace. They might think they have peace, but sudden destruction will come. God says he is going to take the wicked off the earth, and that it's the meek that will inherit the earth. And I just pray that this reaches who it needs to reach. I pray that everyone is vigilant of the things to come. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys would like to know more about this, if you'd want me to do any further research on any of these people, I would rather not get into a big rabbit hole. I've learned from my many years in the truth community that it's just not profitable. It is very profitable to be aware of it. It's foolish to be ignorant of it. But it's not profitable to just get sucked into it for days and days. I would like to, however, cover more of this new age, world order that we're seeing come to fruition. Like the people that are behind it, Alice Bailey and the Theosophical Society and things like that. And I believe this also may pave way for me to move on with the original intent of my channel, which is to cover history through a biblical perspective. That is my goal here. And I think I might take some time to gather some research for you guys to show you how this exact kind of propaganda that we are looking at, and just look at some of these people. You guys, it reminds me of Hunger Games. I think this is the society that all the people in the Capitol we're living in, this just really weird society. These people on this video are just interesting people. They look like actors. Some of them look fake, but that's probably just me being a little bit too extra on my distrust for the powers that be. Like I said, this is a spiritual war, so this is way bigger than all of us. We cannot adopt the mindset that we can stop this or do anything about this. That is not my intent here. My intent here is to warn you so that you will draw closer to God and be led by Him and ask for His, for His Spirit to help you discern these things. Because this is coming soon. I believe within the next 5 years, we will see this kind of society start to come to light and take over. So they will not tolerate us. They will not tolerate born again believers in Jesus Christ. So just be ready. Be prepared. God bless you guys.